All right, welcome back to the channel. There's been an incident, as Charles Leclerc would say. After the last video that I filmed, dirt biking, I actually went up with some friends and, just kind of hung out, and we went up the dirt road to the flat tops, and I fell over, and this is what happened. So it's an RCL tear and some bone bruising, meaning I'm probably going to be off the dirt bike for the rest of the year. We'll see. I also did a little bit of damage to my shoulder right here, which I had surgery on 2 years ago, but it appears to be a strain. PT, it's already feeling great. Like, look at that. Can raise it all the way, no pain. So shoulder's fine, but the thumb is an issue, meaning I can't grab the handlebar very well. And that means, my riding season is mostly done for summer in Colorado, although Grand Junction generally has some pretty good riding in the winter time. So we'll see. Maybe we'll do some late 2025 rides, early 2026 rides, call it a day. During that whole thing, I actually sheared my foot peg off too, as well as did a lot more damage to the handlebar guard, but that's all fixed now, so no big deal there. And then other damage, just the fender kind of scratched. That's minor. The biggest thing was the foot peg. So bent the bracket on the bottom, still a little bent, but what that looks like is this pin right here. This is a new one as well, but it broke at the top and the bottom, and I just dropped the cotter pin, so make sure we have that. But what this allows me to do is give you guys an update on all the projects. So starting off with dirt bike. Dirt bike is fine. Widen that out. It's got the tank of gas. It's doing fine. The hot weather mods that I performed did great. If I just cycle this, install the manual fan, so that switch right here manually can override the left fan, which is stock, and then I've got a programmable fan on the right that's controlled by the Tusk controller. So that's cool. Dirt bike though, probably gonna be sitting for a little bit longer. So moving on to the Land Cruiser being used as storage. It's raining, so my goal was to do some more sanding today. This is one of the fenders, the other fender's right there, and then the front grille is right there. I want to get those sanded and then primed just so I can be done with all of the paint work, because not only do I have a Turbo 400 with an MP203 transfer case, but I also picked up a Chevy small block 305, 307, whatever you want to call it. It's SBC, the small block Chevy. So this actually came out of my neighbor's Land Cruiser, and it's got a lot of miles on it. So it probably does have to get rebuilt, but it's a running engine. Obviously, I need to put some spark plug wires on it, but the goal here now is to get this thing on the road, because I'm sick of looking at it in my garage. I want to drive it around a bit, and then once the engine and transmission are in and we're driving it, I can finish everything else, and then we can put a 2LT engine in it, or 1K ZTE diesel, something like that. I want this to be a manual transmission car. It's all about the money though, so that's annoying, but making progress. I also have the engine mounts for this right here. So I need to bolt on the transmission, lift it up into there, get the spacing all lined up, and then weld in the engine mounts, and that will be a big step forward and clear up a lot of space in the garage. All right, talking about the plane. So another reason I really want to get the Land Cruiser running is because the plane parts have been up in the rafters here, and I need the space that the Land Cruiser is taking up to build the plane. I've got a space problem. It's quite annoying. So we'll get there. Don't worry. Everything will be worked on soon, and the plane will make a triumphant return to the channel. RC stuff in general, probably not going to film a lot of that unless there's something special going on. It's like a pastime thing. So nothing groundbreaking there. Truck. I'm starting to get the itch about modifying my truck. So no lift or anything, maybe a leveling kit, but I do think it would make sense to do an off-road bumper. You know, just improve the look a little bit. And one of my friends is actually building a wooden camper for their Chevy 1999 Chevy C10 or something like that. So they're building out of wood. And that got me thinking, I could build a wooden camper. It's like a, standard slide in that goes in because I'm done camping forever in a tent. But I have the 5.5-foot bed, which they don't make really anything for without keeping the tailgate down. And a wooden shelter would be great just to keeping us out of the elements, and it would be light enough to handle my 1,150-pound payload capacity. So I really like my truck. If I were to trade in my truck, I'd probably go for a Super Duty trimmer, like the F250 trimmer, in which case I'd probably just buy a Lance or a Travel Light or something like that. But comment below what you think I should do. Should I build a wooden camper like one of my buddies is doing, or should I trade in my truck and get something bigger? Because that would also mean that I would probably get a new daily driver, which could be content for the channel. So just food for thought. There happens to be a project around the corner. Let's see if I can just get a glimpse of it. Oh, there it is. Right there. I'm not going to show you the details yet, but there's a lot of parts on the ground, a lot of hoses. All that is going into that project. There will be a release for it in a couple weeks. I'm not ready to showcase that to the world. So, and then the one I've been walking around the entire time, my Supra. So obviously you would have seen the MagnaFlow exhaust install, saves weight. Sound is only marginally louder, but it's louder where it counts, like at idle and then under full throttle. So around town, it's actually not that noticeable. And you would have also seen me install the intake. I'm not going to open the hood. Look at that shiny paint. I did install a dash cam setup that actually can control from a remote. And let's see, can you see the remote in there? So next to the parking brake lever, just below the shifter, there's a little remote. And I can toggle the dash cam on and off because I didn't realize when I wired it that power to the rear view mirror is always supplied. So in order to prevent my battery from draining, I installed this dongle right here. So this dongle goes from the mirror to the USB, converts that pin power to USB power. This dongle is a wireless USB switch and lights up blue when it's running. And then this dongle runs to the camera. So it's not really noticeable in the car, but it allows me to run a dash cam using the power up there. Not super noticeable in the car. And I can just turn it on and off if I need to. So that's nice. Before the power cord was running all the way down and through here to the cigarette lighter and just looked bad. So I like this cleaner install a little bit more, and we'll keep it like that. But back to Supra content. I would like to do some track days with it. I need a helmet first. That's like a limiting factor. I want a nice helmet, and they're expensive. And I have to balance all my money between the various projects in the garage. So hopefully sometime soon I'll get to take the Supra to a track and show you guys what this is all about. Not really going to do a whole lot more modification on it. I like the way this car is. I probably will change this vent to a real vent, this vent to a real vent. There's a couple more, I think. Oh yeah, that one. But these are all fake vents. They don't go anywhere. They're blocked plates. So probably get some carbon fiber vents for that. And then I do want to get a carbon fiber engine cover because this is the 45th anniversary edition. There is real carbon fiber all over it. Also, the wind deflectors are a must. And even inside, yeah, I could probably change some more things. I can get a cover here that's carbon fiber, but I already have carbon fiber in there. And when it's sunny, it reflects the sun off my eyes. So, yeah. It's just, this is that remote I was talking about. So B turns it off, A turns it on, and yeah. So what this means, right? Like, not a whole lot of dirt biking. I can still golf, which is nice, but I have to change my grip. So in terms of projects in the garage, it just means I'm gonna be working on my projects. We're going into winter, so less outdoor activities. The Supra will not get driven in the winter, but it does mean I can work on other stuff. And overall, I think that content does better than my dirt biking videos, but I really like dirt biking. Dirt biking's super fun. I enjoy it a lot. I wish I started doing it earlier, which is why there's so much dirt biking content on this channel, even though the project videos tend to do better. So I know I'm going to post dirt bike content when it's available, but I'm also going to try and do a better job at staying on top of my projects because that's what does well. All right, that's it for this video. Like and subscribe. Hopefully we can get to working on the Land Cruiser a little bit more, get that paint finally done, take the roof off, you know, put in some metal doors, get the seats in, turn it into not a storage unit, and give me a couple weeks and I will be able to show you what this project is all about. All right, see you in the next one. Peace.